My journey begins, the earliest memory, approximately 2 or 3 years old. I was sat on someone's lap with my beautiful Sabbath dress, feeling a hand underneath my dress, inappropriately touching me. My next earliest memory that I can remember is being awakened out of my sleep at 6 years old by my stepdad saying, "Go get a knife so I can kill your mother." Now, at that early age, I didn't understand what was happening to me, but I was terrified, knowing that if I got this, my mom would no longer be there. But the threat that he then said was he would then kill me. At that age, my sisters and I didn't have a lot of strength. We huddled around my mom that morning, the wee hours of that morning. And then he took gasoline and he hurled it on the bed, light a flame, and we jumped up out of the bed. Through that time, continued trauma, continued hurt, continued pain, seeing my mom in a relationship that showed that she had no self-worth. I did not understand what was happening to me, but I was being developed with the mindset of victim. Through the years, there would be many more traumas to come. At the early age of 14, I was raped, held down against my will. I became a teenage mother. And by 17, I had 2 children. Hopeless and in despair. Still seeing my self-worth described through my mom's eyes, the way that she allowed men to come through. I still was so angry with her, but still could not see how I was walking in the same shoes that she had set out for me. Angry, confused, hopeless. I walked into relationships after relationships that continued on to confirm the self-hatred that I had for myself. Going into my first marriage, still with the anger of my mom's weakness, I would never be her. And turning around and realizing that I actually had married the same person. Maybe not the same exact instances, but despair, hopelessness, abusive, emotional pain. So much to the point that I attempted to take my own life. Through that desperation and that need for answers, I sought out for God's help. Lord, show me what I've done. How did I end up becoming my mother? Everything I said I would never be, I am. I have nothing to offer anyone. I'm a victim. I was stronger than her. I knew I would never be her. Looking and investigating and asking God for answers, he took me down a journey of evaluating and investigating my family history. Had to go back to my grandmother, who at an early age was molested, and in her teenage years was raped. She had children from abuse after abuse, and even bore a child out of rape. Now, what are the dynamics that the same thing that would happen to my grandmother also happened to my mother? Early age, molestation, rape, child bore out of rape. What is the commonality? I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to repeat the things that my mom repeated. How did I become the same person? Understanding that this generational curse is real and needing to know how to break it. Through my surrender, I had no other choice but to let go and let God. He's built my muscles, spiritual muscles. For in the flesh, I was weak. I was tired and I was worn. But I decided that if I was going to do and be who God had called me to be, I needed to let him take the wheel. He allowed me to be broken and allowed me to be built back up. I stand before you undefeated, for God has redeemed and restored and is still healing my wounds. He has taught my hands to fight and my fingers for war. And He is continuing to teach me and guide me through the lessons of becoming and being a curse breaker. I share with you my story, for many of us have that story. Repeating this past mistakes, walking in a path and not understanding how we got there. The truth is that we've never taken the time to unpack our history. In order to impact the future, we must take the time to heal. Examine the lives of those before us. This is a spiritual battle. We may think that we are dealing with the flesh, but these are spiritual battles. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against rulers of darkness, principalities. So now, today, I've written a book that is coming to identify the curse. And not only identify the curse, but it seeks to find the answers so that we can live undefeatable curse breakers and walk in our full potential.